Hi, I'm Ann Walsh, and I'm here in many capacities, but I'm a parent, proud parent of Boston Public School student at a pilot school that has 13 students in her classroom and 2 early education teachers. So
which one?
We're very happy. The Lee Academy Pilot School in Dorchester. We live in Dorchester. So we're very happy. But with that, what I'm learning in our 4th week of public education is there are 4 languages spoken among those 13 kids and their families. And as we talk about family engagement that Emerson was talking about, I'm wondering at the state level, I'm also on the mayor's parents action planning team for school readiness, some acronym, in Boston. And we talk a lot, those parents talk a lot about parents who are in need of a lot of services, spending so much time moving around the system. And a lot of those services that they're seeking come through the state. They're not necessarily city services. So I wanted to, this isn't so much a question as a suggestion or a jumping off point or whatnot, of how we can make schools where the students have to come anyway, and we want the families to be there, to also be locations where folks can get the information they need on job training for the parent, or food stamps, or their housing subsidies, or their child care vouchers, or all those other things that folks who are strapped and are working jobs and are trying to get those resources spend time chasing when they could be interacting at their school. And then we have our whole language thing with, how to make sure that those parents who aren't speaking English or maybe Spanish are also included in the school community.
Well, first of all, I love the idea. We have been trying to face the issue you described. It's acute in cities. It's not limited to cities. Of folks who need services frequently eligible for multiple services and the time they have to take moving around in search of them, and how to consolidate that. I hadn't thought until you mentioned it, and about using schools or locations close to schools in order to accomplish that. So that's a wonderful potential solution. I'm not sure we work in schools, but close to schools.
Or there's community centers.
Or community centers that are or state office buildings, state centers of some kind, close to schools. On the question of of language, I'm going to jump off from something you said just to make an observation. We have to. I would like to see us do more to celebrate and make a teaching moment or a teaching experience the fact that there is so much variety, cultural and language variety in classrooms. We are. Anybody here traveled overseas before? Some of you have? It is completely commonplace in much of the rest of the world to speak more than one language. Completely commonplace. And here we get a little funny if you don't speak English. People need to function in English. We need English to function is what I'm trying to say. I get that point. But there is, especially given the ability of young people to absorb new information and new experiences, so great. It's a great opportunity to think about how we use that variety in schools for its own teaching occasion. I don't know how to do that. Sorry?
There's this great thing called two-way bilingual education that, Canada, my husband grew up in Canada, and so he's fully bilingual because he went to French immersion schools when he was little, and there's a few two-way bilingual schools in BPS, but they're highly oversubscribed, and it's really hard to get into that. But we have this law that says that we can do bilingual education. It makes it really tough to do. So I wonder if there's any way, policy-wise, that I would love for my child to be doing bilingual education now when she's 4. But instead I have to wait until she's in 6th or 7th grade before she can start taking a second language. So it's, she's not going to be as good at it when she's 11 as she is now.
But you know what, I will say, it's very hard for many educators to think about new things like that with the limited time in the school day. That's why I'm saying we really do have to think seriously about how we make for a longer school day and make it fun, and age appropriate as well.